I'm going to tell you the story just to get it out because it's how I keep things in order in my head. But about 6:30 or so Thursday morning, Las Vegas time, I get a text from a good man, Mike Johnson, PW Insider. And Mike sent me a text. He said, "Hey, just giving you a heads up." Mike said, "I'm not going to run with this story because it's not confirmed," which is why I have so much freaking respect for Mike Johnson and PW Insider as well, Dave Shear. But he said, "I'm not going to run with the story, but here's what I'm hearing is going on." Again, I was down at Starbucks waiting for them to open so I could get a cup of coffee, and I get this text. And I go back up to my room. I thought, okay, I'm going to track this down. I thought I'd call Nick, Hulk's son, and get a read on what was happening, see if anything was serious. So I put my key card in the room, walked in the room, and of course, I have the television on as background noise, probably 24/7, and it was on Fox News. So I walk into my room, I sit down on my bed, I pull out my phone, start to dial Nick, and then Fox News broke the story. And they used a clip from an interview that Hulk and I did on Fox and Friends. I think it was on May 1st, whatever the date was, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. And that's how I found out. And from that point forward, I've either been on my phone, on text, or shooting interviews with Chael and Bubba. I got done with that, got home last night, and it's finally now sinking in. But it's surreal, man. It's not just, in my case, losing one of my best friends. That's a big enough deal. But everywhere I look for the last 2 days, it's Hulk Hogan. He's all over the news. He's all over social media, and the outpouring of good stuff makes me smile.
Tony, I thought you did an excellent job. I texted you immediately afterwards on Saturday night, just looking right down the barrel of the lens and talking about Hulk Hogan. Take us back to when you first got the news and when you had to deliver that news on live television this past Saturday.
Well, I first got the news from you, Conrad, when you sent me a text. And then, of course, I immediately go online and look around, and, a couple of the sites had it, TMZ had it. I let some people in our company know exactly what had happened, some of the guys I work with. And it just absolutely floored me because, well, I knew he had some back and neck and problems. I think anybody that knows him knew that he was really struggling to get around, but to have the heart attack, and it when something like that happens, somebody that you work with, you kind of think about your own mortality, and you think about how fragile life is, and you think about, my God, it did not seem that long ago when I was calling some of his matches, and even in the WWE in that one year I was there. But then I thought about what he meant to pro wrestling, and it's undeniable what he meant to pro wrestling. So I put together a thing to say. And Tony Khan helped me with the verbiage of what to say. He wanted me to make sure I talk about the family and make sure I talk about how he made an impact in wrestling on TNT. And so I put it together, and I remember telling Tony, I said, "Do you want me to read it to you?" He went, "No." He said, "I trust you." I said, "Okay." And then I told the guys in the truck, I said, "Please do not wrap me up. Do not say you got 10, 9, 8. And they said, "Okay." I think they gave me a minute and 30 to do it. I think I did it in like a minute 10, minute 15. And it was from the heart as a wrestling fan, and it was from the heart as a guy that was fortunate enough to be a part of a company where Hulkamania was, as they say, running wild. and to be a part of the company where Hulk Hogan turned things around. And again, like I said, ignited the Monday Night Wars. I was there for all of it, and that's not lost on me. So it was truly from the heart. And again, and I'm not going to bring this down to say that, you can't please everybody. And there's going to be people on both sides saying bad things about what I said. I did have a lot of fun. I think the day after he died, maybe on Twitter or X, responding to all these fucking idiots. And then somebody said, Tony, log off. You've had enough fun. And even Matt got in touch with me. He said, stop. I said, okay, I'll stop. But it was, and I still think about it. I still think right now about Hulk Hogan passing, and it's weird, isn't it? It's like, no, there's no way that happened. So it was a very, very sad day. It really was.
First, I want to say to Terry Bolle's family and Nick and his whole entire family, my condolences. He was a great man. He was always good to me, always fantastic to me. And I had so many memories of Hulk Hogan when I started in 1985 full-time with the WWF at the time. Gave us so many fantastic memories. He was always just so kind, so cool. Did a lot of his favorite a lot of great legendary matches. I just want to thank Hulkster, man, for all the years and just being so kind. And, I seen him about a little over a year ago at the bar down in Clearwater. And he was just like, hey, Coyote, man. He was like, and that's who gave me the nickname. It was Razor Ramon, Hulk Hogan, a bunch of those guys back in the 80s. And just we'll never forget. I mean, we lost a legend, an icon. It's like losing like a Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron to baseball, and other guys to football. Like when you lose legends in football and any other sport. I mean, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, I mean, the paydays, not only everything else, the paydays were phenomenal, were unbelievable. He made everybody money, because when the top guy made money in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, the boys made money, the referees made money. And, when he left the company, I was shocked. Completely shocked all the years. And I'm thinking, Jesus, how could we lose Hulk Hogan? And then just losing him and what he did for WCW with NWO, I was completely marking out for that shit and working for the WWF at the same time and going, Jesus, we burnt our bridges a little bit too much. And we let go one of the most icons in the business. And then just, he gave me one of my most favorite memories and matches I've done, of course, is with Rock and Hogan. 2002, WrestleMania 18, Toronto Sky Dome. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget it. I miss him, man. God bless. Hope you rest in peace.